Welcome to the Global War Watch Network. While diplomatic efforts attempt to stabilize the Middle East, a permanent institutional takeover is quietly underway in the Strait of Hormuz. Before we analyze the data and the text of the Islamabad Accord, please subscribe to the channel to track the conflict with us. This satellite map of the Strait of Hormuz clearly illustrates the massive disconnect between diplomacy and the kinetic reality on the water. Even under a ceasefire, U.S. destroyers and Iranian fast attack craft remain locked in a standoff. The April 8th ceasefire failed to stabilize energy markets because Iran used the diplomatic window to reorganize its military command. Tehran is transforming a temporary wartime blockade into a formalized, legalized toll system. The global economy now faces the institutionalized capture of 20, but the language of the agreement contained a significant geographic omission. The United States and Israel explicitly stated that these terms did not apply to Hezbollah or the conflict in Lebanon. On the day the ceasefire began, Israeli leadership ordered a massive, coordinated air campaign across Lebanon, pressing the offensive while the truce with Iran remained technically in effect. Grave. The strikes killed 357 people in 10 minutes, prompting an immediate vow of regret-inducing response from the IRGC. By isolating Lebanon from the peace process, the agreement provided Tehran with the justification it needed to declare the ceasefire violated and maintain its posture in the Gulf. These graphics contrast the opposing positions at the emergency talks in Pakistan. To resolve the crisis, Vice President J.D. Vance and the U.S. delegation presented 3 non-negotiable red lines. The delegation, which included envoys Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff, demanded the immediate dismantling of Iran's nuclear enrichment program and the unconditional reopening of the strait. Washington's terms centered on a total return to pre-war shipping norms, without tolls or Iranian interference. Iran countered with a 10-point plan. Point 8 specifically demanded formal financial compensation for transit, essentially a mandatory toll for every ship passing through the strait. The talks collapsed after 21 hours. Absolute sovereign rights over international shipping lanes have replaced military de-escalation as the core of the dispute. Following the collapse in Islamabad, President Trump ordered a comprehensive naval blockade of all Iranian ports, effective April 13th. Central Command received instructions to intercept any vessel in international waters that has paid a toll to Iran, branding these payments as illegal. These Navy personnel are now shadowing tankers to ensure no funds reach Tehran. Under this order, any vessel paying for Iranians' safe passage is denied the right to transit. CENTCOM clarified that freedom of navigation would be maintained for neutral ships heading to non-Iranian ports. However, by unilaterally restricting these waters without a UN Security Council mandate, the U.S. adopted a tactic that mirrors Iran's own claims, that transit through the strait is a conditional right. To protect its grip on the waterway, Iran stripped control of the strait away from the IRGC Navy and transferred it to KCATH, the Khatam al-Anbiya Central Headquarters. This move addresses a specific legal vulnerability. Because the IRGC is a designated foreign terrorist organization, its blockade was classified by the West as a criminal act of extortion. KCATH, however, is a joint command under the Supreme Leader that integrates both the regular army and the IRGC. Crucially, the headquarters itself is not on any Western terrorist list. This command structure allows Iran to frame its actions as sovereign state maneuvers rather than terrorist posturing, making it much harder for the West to apply existing sanctions. Behind this military shift is a new legislative framework. The Iranian parliament passed a law mandating a transit fee of up to $2 million for every commercial vessel entering the strait. Tehran collects these fees outside the global banking system, using China's Kunlun Bank for yuan payments and the Tron blockchain for cryptocurrency. Iran's legal justification rests on its 1993 Law of Marine Areas. It claims the right to suspend harmless passing through its waters on security grounds. The legal friction arises from treaty ratification. While the U.S. cites UNCLOS as the standard for freedom of transit, neither Washington nor Tehran has actually joined the convention. Tehran has used this ambiguity to convert an ad hoc blockade into a legally insulated permanent maritime port authority. This data shows the resulting status quo. With KHHQ in control, Tehran has institutionalized the Strait of Hormuz into a permanent Iranian tollgate. This isolated tanker represents the current reality for global trade. With the U.S. Navy enforcing a strict blockade and Iran demanding tolls, the global energy supply chain is structurally bottlenecked. Thank you for watching this Global War Watch Network special report. Subscribe to stay updated on the crisis as it evolves. How long can the global economy withstand an institutionalized blockade of the Strait of Hormuz? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. In this conflict, controlling the legal framework is as decisive as controlling the physical territory. This is Host A, signing off from Global War Watch.